Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about the joints and their types. First of all, let us try to define the joints. The joints are actually the meeting points or the points of articulation between two bones. So a joint is a place where two bones meet or two bones articulate with each other. Now the total number of joints present in the body ranges from 250 to 350. The number of the joints depends upon the age of the individual as well as it also depends upon the definition of the joint. As far as the study of joints is concerned, study of joints is called as the arthrology. Study of joints is called as arthrology. Arthrology. On the basis of the mobility, joints have been classified into three categories. These are as follows. So on the basis of mobility, joints have been classified into following three categories. The first type of the joints are those joints which do not allow any type of movement. Hence, these joints are called as the immovable joints. Second category of joints is the one which allows slight movement. Therefore, they are called as the slightly movable joints. Third category of joints is the one which allows free movement of the bones attached at the joint. Such type of joints are called as the freely movable joints. Let us discuss them in some detail. So first we will take the first category of joints, that is the immovable joints. Immovable joints are also called as the fibrous joints. These joints are also named by another name. These are also called as the synarthrosis. These joints, so as far as immovable joint is concerned, they are the fixed joints where movement between the two joining bones is not possible. Here, the articulating faces of the two joining bones are interlocked firmly and are held together by a collagenous or white fibrous tissue. So the interlocking and the presence of the collagenous fibers or white fibers does not allow any kind of movement between the joints. Therefore, these type of joints are also called as the fibrous joints. Fibrous joints or immovable joints are present in the following parts of our body. For example, these are found in the sutures. Sutures are the joints which are present between the skull bones. So our skull bones are fixed bones. They don't show any kind of movement. The only skull bone that is capable of movement is our lower jaw bone. All other skull bones are fixed because they are held together by fibrous or the immovable joints. Another example of the immovable joint is the one between the socket of the tooth and the teeth. So this is suppose the socket of the tooth, and in the socket of the tooth is embedded our root of our teeth. So between the root of our teeth and the socket joint is again present a joint that is called as the immovable joint, or that is called as gompophosis. So the gompophosis present between the root of the tooth and the socket of the tooth, that is again an example of the immovable joint or fixed joint. So this is called as gompophosis. So this was the first category of joints, that is the immovable joint or the fibrous joint. Now let us talk about the second type of joint. The second type of joint is called as the slightly movable joint. Slightly movable joints are also called as the cartilaginous joints. So it is also called as the cartilaginous joint. These joints are also called as the amphiarthrosis. They are also called as the amphiarthrosis. As far as the slightly movable joints are concerned, here between the two articulating faces of the bones is present a white fibrous cartilage. And that white fibrous cartilage allows only slight movement of the bones attached by it. For example, this type of joint is found between the centra of the vertebrae. For example, here is the centrum of one vertebra, suppose, and these are the processes. Suppose this is the superior zygapophysis, this is transverse process, this is the neural spine, and this is here the inferior zygapophysis. This is here another centrum of the next vertebra, and these are again here processes arising from the centrum. These processes include, again, one will be the superior zygapophysis, another will be transverse process, then will be the supine and the inferior zygapophysis. So here between the centra of two vertebrae is present a joint which is represented by white fibrous cartilage, and this joint over here which fixes or attaches the centra of two vertebrae together. This is an example of a cartilaginous joint or slightly movable joint. Another example of slightly movable joint is the one present between the pubic bones, coxal bones, that is called as the pubic symphysis. So here the first example was that of the intervertebral discs. So intervertebral disc, or the joint that is present between the centra of two vertebrae, that represents the slightly movable joint. Another example of this is pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis is the joint that is present between two coaxial bones. So these are two coaxial bones that make our pelvic girdle, and in between the two coaxial bones is present a joint which is called as pubic symphysis. So that pubic symphysis actually represents a slightly movable joint or the cartilaginous joint. So these were examples of the slightly movable joints. Now let us move on to the third category of joints, which is the freely movable joint. As far as the freely movable joints are concerned, freely movable joints are those joints which allow free movement. So here this type of joint will allow the free movement of the bones which are present at the joint. Freely movable joints are also called as the perfect joints. These are also called as the perfect joints, and these are also called as diarthrosis. Diarthrosis. So as far as the structure of a freely movable joint is concerned, here the articulating faces of each meeting cartilage is lined by a hyaline cartilage. So articulating face of each bone at this freely movable joint has a cartilage which is called as the hyaline cartilage. Suppose this is the one bone over here, and this is the another bone present over here. So here the articulating faces of each of these two bones is covered by a cartilage, and this cartilage is actually a hyaline cartilage. Here this joint is covered externally or lined externally by a membrane which is called as the synovial membrane. So here is the synovial membrane. This synovial membrane, it secretes or produces a gelatinous liquid which is called as the synovial fluid. So here is the synovial fluid. This is synovial fluid, and this synovial fluid consists of the mucopolysaccharides and has the same consistency as that of an uncooked egg white. So it is actually formed of hyaluronic acid-like substances. And outside this synovial membrane is present the fibrous capsule, and that fibrous capsule is formed of the fibers. So here externally this entire structure will be covered by a fibrous capsule. So this is here the fibrous capsule. This is a typical structure of a synovial joint. So let us label different parts of the synovial joint. So here these are the articulating bones. This is one bone and this is another bone, and articulating faces of each of these bones will always be lined by hyaline cartilage. So here is the hyaline cartilage, and this here is the synovial membrane. Synovial membrane is secretory in nature, and it secretes a fluid, gelatinous fluid, which is called as synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is gelatinous in nature. It is gelatinous in nature and consists of mucopolysaccharides. Mucopolysaccharides. Mucopolysaccharide like hyaluronic acid. And this externally, this will be covered by this fibrous capsule. Fibrous capsule. This type of joint allows free movement. Now, on the basis of the degree of the movement allowed, the synovial joints are of 5 types. These freely movable joints or perfect joints or diarthras, they are also called as the synovial joints. And synovial joints are named so because of the presence of the synovial fluid and synovial membrane in this type of joint. And as far as the degree of mobility is concerned, synovial joints are further of the following 6 types. So let us discuss about the types of the synovial joints now. So synovial joints are of now 6 types. The first type of synovial joint is called as the ball and socket type. That is ball and socket type. As far as this ball and socket joint is concerned, here the articulating face of one bone is just like a ball, while as articulating face of another bone is like a cup. So the ball of one bone fits in the cup-like cavity of the another bone, allowing for the maximum movement, and is therefore called as ball and socket joint. So let me draw here. Suppose here is the one bone. One bone has a ball-like structure, and another articulating bone will have a cup-like concavity. Into the cup-like concavity of one bone, the ball-like protuberance of the another bone will fit, forming a ball and socket type of joint. Ball and socket type of joints are present in our following joints. For example, the joint that is formed between the humerus and the glenoid cavity. And if you remember, humerus is the bone of upper arm. The head of the humerus, it fits in the glenoid cavity of scapula, forming a ball and socket joint, which is the shoulder joint. So as far as the shoulder joint is concerned, it is an example of ball and socket joint. And similar example is the one that is found between the head of femur and acetabulum of coxa. So acetabulum is cup-like concavity present in the pelvic girdle, while as the head of the humerus that fits in this cup-like cavity of acetabulum, forming again a ball and socket type of joint. Therefore, the hip joint is also an example of ball and socket joint. Now let us talk about the second type of the synovial joint. Second type of synovial joint is called as the hinge joint. As far as hinge joint is concerned, hinge joint is the one that allows movement only in one direction, just like the hinge of a door or window. For example, this is the hinge. You can see that hinge allows movement only in one direction. Such type of joint is called as hinge joint. So as far as hinge joint is concerned, here movement is allowed only in one direction. Movement is allowed only in one direction. Hinge joints are found in the following places. For example, hinge joint is present in our elbow joint. Our elbow joint is formed between the radioulna and the humerus. So the joint present at the elbow, or the joint that is present between the forearm bones and upper arm bone, is an example of the elbow joint. Similarly, knee joint is another example of hinge joint. Knee joint is formed by the bones of the shank, which is the bones of the shank. They include tibia, fibula, especially the fibula and the femur bone. So that joint is called as the knee joint. So knee joint is again an example of the hinge joint. Now let us talk about the third type of the synovial joint. The third type of synovial joint is called as the ellipsoidal joint, or the condyloid joint. As far as this ellipsoidal or condyloid joint is concerned, here one of the bone has the condylar structure. One of the bone, it has a condyle-like protuberance, while as another bone, another articulating bone that articulates with, has a corresponding elliptical concavity. So such type of joint wherein one of the bones is having a condyloid process and another is having a corresponding elliptical concavity, this type of joint is called as the condyloid joint. So it also allows movement in many directions. This type of joint is called as elliptical or the condyloid. This type of joint is found between the metacarpals and the phalanges of the digits, excepting between the metacarpal and the phalanx of the first digit. So excepting that, all other joint between all other metacarpals and phalanges is an example of the elliptical or the condyloid joint. Now another type of the synovial joint is called as the gliding joint. So another type of joint is called as the gliding joint. As far as this gliding joint is concerned, here this is also called as the plane joint. Here the two articulating bones, they will glide over another bone. So here in this type of joint, so this is the next type of joint called as the gliding joint. As far as gliding joint is concerned, gliding joint is the one where the articulating bones, one bone will glide or slide over another bone. So one bone is sliding over the another bone. That type of joint is called as the gliding joint. So here bones are gliding over one another. So such type of joint will be called as gliding joint. For example, these types of joints, gliding joints, they are found between superior and inferior zygapophyses of adjacent vertebrae, as well as they are also found between carpals, and also they are found between the tarsals. So the joint formed between the carpals and between the tarsal, that is the wrist bones, and the ankle bones, that is an example of the gliding joint. Another type of joint, or another type of synovial joint, is the one that is called as the pivot joint. As far as the pivot joint is concerned, pivot joint is the one where one of the bones has peg-like process and another bone is ring-like. So as far as the pivot joint is concerned, pivot joint is that type of synovial joint where one of the bones has a peg-like process and another bone has a ring, is in the form of a ring. So this ring fits in the peg, and then either peg is stationary and ring moves and ring rotates, or a ring is stationary and peg rotates. So this type of joint is called as the pivot joint. So pivot joint is the one where the peg, in the peg-like process of one bone, a ring like complementary bone fits, allowing for rotatory type of movement. So this type of joint will allow the rotational movement. So for example, this type of joint is found between the atlas and axis vertebra, that is the first and the second vertebrae. So the joint present between atlas and the axis vertebrae is an example of the pivot joint. We know that the axis, it has a process which is called as odontoid process, while as atlas has a ring which is called as odontoid fossa, and that odontoid fossa fits in the odontoid prosapaxis bone, allowing for rotatory type of movement. So when we move our head so as to make the no type of gesture, this type of gesture is made possible because of this pivot type of joint. Another example of pivot joint in our body is the one that is found between radius bone and the ulna bone. So the joint found between the radius and ulna is an example of the pivot joint. So radius and ulna joint is also an example of the pivot joint. So now the last type of the joint, last type of the synovial joint, that is called as the saddle joint. So the last type of joint, synovial joint, or sixth type of joint, is called as the synovial joint. As far as the synovial joint is concerned, is the saddle joint. The last type of joint is called as the saddle joint. So as far as the saddle joint is concerned, saddle joint is just like the elliptical joint, but here one of the bones is just like saddle. One of the bones is saddle-like, and another bone. So this is one bone, and this bone is saddle-like, and another bone is just like the rider of a saddle. So this type of joint, which is formed by the bones, wherein one bone has a saddle-like concavity and another bone fits like a rider, this type of joint is called as the saddle joint. So this is the last type of synovial joint, called as the saddle joint. Saddle joint is found, the example where the saddle joint is found, it is found between the metacarpal and phalanges of thumb. So the joint found between the metacarpal and the phalanges of the joint is called as the saddle joint. This joint will allow for many types of the movement. So these were the different types of joints. So let us summarize them now in a diagram. So let me show you an image. Here is the different types of the synovial joints. So the first joint which you will see towards the left, this joint is called as the hinge joint. Hinge joint is that type of synovial joint which will allow movement but only in one direction. So this is the hinge joint. The second joint, here you will see that one of the bones is just like a peg and another bone is just like a ring. So ring fits in the peg. This type of joint will allow the rotatory movement, and this type of joint is called as the pivot joint. The third type of joint which you will see here, one of the bone has ball-like protuberance. This is ball-like protuberance, and this ball is fitting in a socket-like concavity of another, and this type of joint will be therefore ball and socket joint. So this is the ball and socket joint. The third type of joint which you see here you will see that one of the bone has a condyle or elliptical condyle or the roundish protuberance, and another has elliptical. It has elliptical concavity, and this type of joint wherein one bone has a roundish condyle-like structure and another articulating bone has concavity, elliptical concavity. This type of joint is called as elliptical or the condyloid joint. And the fifth type of joint, here you will see that one of the bones is the saddle-like. It has a saddle-like cavity, while as it is complementary bone, the bone above it has a rider-like features. So this type of joint is called as the saddle joint. So here is the saddle joint. And finally, the last type of joint, here you will see, this is also called as plane joint. Here the two bones, articulating bones, the facets of articulating bones are flat, and here one bone will slide over the another bone, and this type of joint is therefore called as the gliding joints. So as far as joints are concerned, joints are the places where the two bones meet or join, and they allow the movement of the bones. But some joints, they don't allow any kind of movement. Those joints are called as the immovable joints. This is the first category. These are also called as the fibrous joints. Number second is a slightly movable joint. Slightly movable joints are those joints which will allow movement at the joint, but only very slightly. Here they are between the articulating faces of the two joining bones is present a white fibrous cartilage. So that white fibrous cartilage does not allow significant movement and is therefore also called as cartilaginous joint. And third type of joint is called as freely movable joint. Freely movable joints are the ones which allow maximum movement. They are also called as the synovial joints because they have a synovial fibula.